Page 86, Tumbalalaika, Tumba something or other, whatever that is, I don't know what that is. On page 84, they give you some more sight reading. Please do that. Sight reading is so important. And if you're struggling, like on the number 2 part where the hands are together, do it one hand at a time. But sight read as much as you can. On page 85, they give you some more exercises. Gotta love the exercises. I don't cover them, but if you have questions on them, you're welcome to ask. For this piece, we're using the primary chord for the key of A minor, because you'll see that no sharps or flats in the key signature. It's either in C major or A minor, and you have to kind of figure out which is it. And if we look at the end, it ends on an A minor chord, so I'd say it's an A minor. And since we're using the primary chords in A minor, that kind of points that direction too. 3/4 time. Now this is 2 pages long. There's no repeats or anything. We go straight through it. Quarter notes, a few dotted rhythms. We're using pedal here. We got an extended position. Have we had extended positions before? I'll talk about it. Right hand first. Let's make sure we have the notes and the rhythms and the fingering. Starting here, 2/4. You don't need any more finger numbers on the first line. You don't need that 3 because you're not changing. You're going to stay right here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So your third finger's on that D anyway. Now for measure 5, now you're going to come up. You come up, down. You're playing the B again. And it's like a repeated note. So we're just changing hand positions. Measure 9. This is the extended position. You see an A minor chord is here. I mean, it's in various places, but in this music here, it's here. But if we want to do the A an octave higher here, we got to stretch out, extend, they call it. And that changes the fingering now. Now we're going to use 2 and 3 here. And that is the fingering for the extended chord, where you're playing octaves, and this is quite common. So these first 4 notes there in the last line on page 86, that's just an extended chord, a broken chord. Then the repeated note there, measure 10, we're going to change hand positions. 1 and 2 and 3. Bring the thumb down and then change hand positions again. 1, 2, and 3. Bring the thumb down and change hand positions. That's how we do this. Left hand, broken chords. Oom, chuck, chuck, oom, chuck, chuck. Oh, goody. 5/7 chord. You get that. Let's go down to measure 9. It's the 1 chord. Now we get the 4 chord. Short. This isn't really a 4 chord. A 4 chord would be here. What we're doing is we're staying on the C. It's an F chord. It's a 6 chord. I don't want to go there. Just it's an F chord. And then for measure 11, it's the 4 chord. Okay. Now look out, they switched the notes around for you there at the end, at the bottom of page 87. The last 2 measures. You're here. It's not cha. That. It's here, here. And then use 4th finger and then 2 and 1 to add that to it. Because that's tied, you don't play it again, you just add those to it. So the last line in the left hand here, and 2 and 1. Put the hands together here. Now again, you're going to hesitate all over the place. That's fine. You're just trying to get the hands to work together. So they start here, and then here, and then here, and then 3. Here, and then 5/7 here, that. So you go through and put the hands together, work it out. Take as long as you need. It could take a week, it could take 2 weeks, it doesn't matter. But get rid of the hesitation so it is a steady beat. You can go slow, but it's got to be a steady beat. You can speed it up later. Having a steady beat is more important than going fast. Then we add the articulation, and that here is just the slurs. Connect these as best you can. They're phrases. lift up. You have to lift up anyway because it's a repeated note, but lift up. Lift up. Now, the last line there, they've got two measures. And here. If you want to lift up with those slurs, that's fine. That's all right. I don't like short slurs like that, but all right, we can do that, I suppose. My inclination is to go ahead and continue the 4 measure phrases and connect 4 measures at a time. Is the way, but you can do 2 measure slurs too, or 2 measure phrases. I don't really know if those are phrases or not. If they're musical sentence, does it sound like a musical sentence to you? If so, it's a phrase, I guess. Then the dynamics. Well, moderately loud here, that's the right hand. Whatever you think moderately loud is. The left has to be soft. And then on measure 9, you're going to go up to loud. And, there, that's loud. Left hand's still soft. And then on measure 15, come back down. You can come all the way down to medium soft here. Because in measure 17, now you're soft. And you're going to go up to loud. You take 2 measures to go from soft to loud. So it's like 2 notes are soft, 2 notes are medium soft, 2 notes are medium loud. Now we're loud. So I plan it out. I want to space it out. Then go back down. Do it again. Then soft, measure 25 soft up to medium loud, or loud if you want. And then at the end you go back down to soft. Fermatas, you hold on to those however long you feels right. I'll do it with a metronome. I'll just hold the left hand half note for 4 counts instead of 2. Ideally, you get to know it well enough, you start getting into the music, you feel these dynamics, because these are just guides. In this kind of music and this kind of an arrangement, these dynamics are not absolute, you got to do it. Some music they are, not here. They're guides. This is sort of where you are. Feel it in this area. And then you can feel these crescendos and these decrescendos or diminuendos or whatever. You may want to do some other stuff. You may want to get a little louder or softer in other places. If you feel it, try it out. And speed, well, moderately, about where I'm going, I think. It feels that way. It's a nice, pleasant waltz or something. Not 1, 2, 3, because that's fast. 1, 2. Well, it says moderately fast, which would be a little slower than that. But to me, it's the feel of it. Somewhere in that area. If I played it several times, I'd probably play it at a different speed every time. Just please understand that it has to flow. And that's why hesitations are an absolute no-no. Don't hesitate. What's going on? No, it's got to flow from start to finish. Once that beat starts, it continues all the way to the end, unless you get a fermata or something in the middle or something. Now they've added pedal. You don't need pedal on this piece. You can play it just fine without. I mean, you could have some fun with the articulation because you could add some staccatos in places. That's, the articulation is part of interpreting the music. They're just telling you to connect everything. Everything is slurred. But we'll go ahead and do the pedal. It's fun. They're basically changing it with the harmony. I have problems with that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with changing with the harmony, but we change pedal for other reasons besides harmony. So we want to keep that in mind. It's going to be overlapping or syncopated pedaling, just like we've been studying. All the notes go down first and then the pedal does its thing, and that you change the pedal after you play the notes, so it's lagging behind them. So at the beginning it's here, notes first, then pedal, and they're showing the pedal all down all the way across to the 4th measure. So again, now that's okay if you're not listening to it, but I don't like the blurriness. I don't like. So what I think I'm going to do is more of a waltz type pedaling here. It's a little different technique. There's really a couple of them. It reinforces the natural accent, which is the first beat of the measure. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So what I can do is I can push the note down, or the pedal down on the first beat of the measure and then lift it up. So it goes down with the note and then up with the note. Another one is I can hold it down first 2 beats and lift it up on beat 3. It gives a different effect to the sound. You have to experiment. Now, when it's the same notes, like the first 2 measures, that's fine. You can hold the pedal down if you want. I still probably change it with each measure, out of habit. But on that 3rd measure, when you're doing that, I don't want to smear it. I don't want all that. So I'm going to lift it up on beat 3 here to clean that out, and then go on. So I'm adjusting the pedal when I'm changing notes in the right hand, or whatever the notes are. Whatever they are, I'm going to lift up on the 3rd beat for those measures. And the others, I can pedal it pretty much like they're showing. So the first line there would be here. Like so. And then the 3rd line, again, it's all one chord, but I still want to clean it out. So I'm going to lift up on the 3rd beat. And then here, again, I measure 11. I'm going to lift up on the 3rd beat. You get the idea. What I'm getting across is when the melody is changing notes, I'm lifting the pedal up on the 3rd beat of the measure to clean out the sound. But when it's not changing notes, I can leave it down if I want. Now, I know I'm complicating the pedaling for you. If you're getting it, this is something to think about, and if you're struggling, just do the pedaling in the book and don't listen too carefully to the sound. Then we can also do one more thing with the pedal, and that is we can put in the phrasing. It's like the here, lift up. It's like taking a breath. Well, lift the pedal with the right hand so you hear the phrasing. So the first line, the 2nd line, or first couple of lines, whatever. See, there's just a little bit of silence there because the pedal come up with the hand. So I'm lifting the pedal with the phrasing so I can hear it. The pedal needs to add to the sound. It needs to add to the interpretation. It needs to complement or complete what you're doing, not get in the way. My opinion, you're just playing this along, it'd be nice to put in a little retardando there. They don't, so apparently you're not supposed to, other than somebody is dancing to this or something. But otherwise, it just feels right to me to put in a retardando there at the end. So the last line on page 87, starting at measure 29. So it's a felt thing. I'd like to play this with you very slowly. Let's double check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do any dynamics. I'll give us 3 counts. Let's just try it. I'm going to pedal it as I suggest. 1, ready, go.